So yeah, I think music doesn't have any boundaries or rules. I think it again comes back to every event. I know it sounds like a broken record, pun intended, but it's something that I think I take a lot of pride in being a part of an event and helping to create a memorable experience. So whether I'm DJing for the women's Final Four or I'm DJing at my residency at Walker's Pint, in the neighborhood, or I'm at the art museum doing an after dark event, all three of those are so different. And I like to try to see where music can take the night and take people on a journey. So whether it's a 30-minute set or a 4-hour set, I think it really is this experience, this journey. And so many DJs I think that I've studied and read books about talk about like that energy. It's such a symbiotic relationship. Whether you're background music or you're in charge of an entire festival set for thousands of people. And I think it's so interesting to learn. For me personally, I think the more that I am given from people that I'm DJing for, the harder I really, really work. I don't know if that makes me sound awful as a DJ, but it's interesting because I think the people in front of me often underestimate how much power they really have. So if I catch a song that just gets you excited and you're fist pumping and you're singing at the top of your lungs, I'm going to try to keep that feeling going because it really is what I think is like a crazy high to have that influence on people and help them have just such a memorable experience, again, no matter what the event or the venue. So yeah, I think music really, there are no boundaries. And it's surprising too, because I think sometimes we put people in boxes and we think because they look a certain way, they like a certain type of music. But what's fun about being an open format DJ is seeing, maybe hip hop isn't for you. If you look hip hop, whatever, that might evoke a thought in your brain. And I play a country song and it just hits you hard and you love it. And so I have so much fun with that. And that's where I think music really doesn't have any boundaries. So certain music for certain venues. I think for me, I have so many different facets of what I do as a DJ. So like this past week, I got to DJ. I was the first DJ at Fiserv Forum for the construction workers, the craft workers that helped build the new arena. And for me, I had kind of a guideline go into it, but I feel like I always try to read the room as best as I can. The only time that I'll have a set sort of, and I sometimes deviate, are my festival sets where I have 50 minutes and you just want to go out there and just sort of like crush it and play your best that you can play for those 50 minutes. But when I have the 4-hour sets that you're from like 10 p.m. until bar close, to me that the first song sort of always is what I'm feeling, to be honest. Like at least at my residency on Saturday nights, that's something that I feel that I just kind of put out there. And literally from that first song, I kind of see where the night goes. And again, it might sound silly to some people, but in that anywhere from like 3 to 4 minutes of that song, you can tell a lot about where the night is gonna go and where you want to try to help dictate it to go. And so I always think like that first song sort of sets the tone. I do think that music can be a form of identity. I think it doesn't have to be defined. I don't think I allow one song or one genre to define me, but I think hip hop for me has influenced me pretty drastically. I think between hip hop, fashion, and basketball, all just sort of made sense in my head, in my world. I don't ever remember warming up for a basketball game without music. And I don't ever remember like going into the weight room with our team without music. The most powerful aspect of hip hop, again, in my experience, is a community standpoint. Not only from a music aspect, but this is something I kind of giggle about because I wouldn't identify as a dancer or a break dancer. But when I was in undergrad at University of Wisconsin-Madison, I joined the breakdancing club. And to me, it was one of the coolest things that I got to be a part of. They just welcomed everybody with open arms. And again, you incorporate obviously really good music in there and movement. And it was that's what I love about hip hop. I think you include the like turntables and all of that stuff, basketball and fashion for me just always like, it makes me smile, it makes me happy. And the idea of like a community coming together because music is so powerful. And then you have all these other things that branch out of that.